Hi, I'm Holly Hudson, and welcome to Fine Actually. And yes, I am in a standing desk sound booth because this is the only quiet place I can find to talk to you about the news in America this past week. Our institutions are still standing, which is impressive considering at this point they're held up the same way I am, by spite and one functioning ligament. This week we had a war, a Supreme Court ruling, dark money in the primaries, the Epstein files again, and ships getting hit in the Strait of Hormuz, and a FEMA official who reportedly told officials he teleported to a Waffle House. And I want to be clear, that is the most coherent disaster plan anyone in this administration has produced all year. The man had a destination, an exit strategy, and he knows where the hash browns are. According to the new Haberman-Swan book, Regime Change, the first Trump administration had people in the room trying to stop him. This one has 6 people saying to him, "Sir, your gut is never wrong," which is something you say to a toddler when you're trying to get them to eat broccoli. They warned him about Iran, the Strait of Hormuz, munitions, regional escalations, all the little appetizers that come with a war. He reportedly had a feeling that it was going to be a very quick war, which is the exact energy of a man standing in a gutted bathroom saying, "Done by Tuesday." 5 months later, there's a whole toilet in the hallway and the entire family is brushing their teeth in the garden. Technically, we've achieved peace the way Southwest Airlines achieves boarding. No one's happy. Half of them are missing. Technically, they're in motion, and in Zone 4, a man is openly weeping. Meanwhile, the Epstein files just won't go away, which must absolutely be killing him. I mean, after all, this man can bend Congress, terrify senators, and gold leaf an entire wing of the federal government. And yet he cannot delete one dead sex trafficker off the internet. Reportedly, they discussed the Epstein cleanup in the Situation Room. The nuclear threat room. Now it's a panic group chat with a coffee machine. Okay, Iran's on fire, inflation's up. How many more times can we put the president's name on a building before lunch? And in that same room, apparently J.D. Vance said, today Watergate would be a 12-hour story. And he's right. Today, it would be push notifications between 2 worse stories. President covers up break-in, swipe up for a soup recipe. Then we found out this week, Republican money has been quietly funding progressive candidates in Democratic primaries. Real names: Lead Left, Real Change. That is like a vegan cafe operated by an alligator. Everything here is plant-based. Would you like a table by the water's edge? The plan is apparently to nominate a Democrat they think will be easiest to beat. So now we've moved past running your own candidate. Now you just adopt your opponents and raise it badly. The Supreme Court had a big week too. They took away the legal protections for Haitians and Syrians and are bringing back a restrictive asylum policy. And that one's real, and it isn't funny. And I have no bit about it. A federal judge did block Trump's order on the voter list, so apparently the courts are still doing something. The institutions are holding, they're just being stress tested like patio furniture in a hurricane. Some of it holds, some of it is in the neighbor's pool. And we're all at the window in our pajamas going, was that the Department of Justice that just flew by? So to recap, the quick little war is now in the please stop asking questions phase. The Situation Room is now a crisis PR suite with snacks. Republican money is sneaking into the Democratic primaries in a tote bag. J.D. Vance thinks Watergate would have been a TikTok, and a FEMA official has located the only working evacuation route in the country, direct to a Waffle House. Honestly, I respect him. He's the one man in government who knows exactly where he's going. That's the news. Stay hydrated, verify your packs, and if anyone offers you a quick, easy war, check the hallway for a toilet first.
Embassy of Algeria? Yes, I submitted an application a few months ago, and I understand it's generated some discussion, so I'm calling to follow up. I've been preparing. I make couscous on Fridays now, and I've been told not to rush it. I've been told rushing is a kind of violence. I drink mint tea at a temperature now that concerns my dentist, and I've learned to refuse hospitality now twice before accepting on the 3rd offer, like a person with manners. I want to be clear about my reasons. I'm not coming for the Sahara. I'm coming for a country who spent 132 years under somebody else's flag, took it back, and therefore would understand a woman who just wants to be left alone. I support Latinx. I have feelings about 2019. I will explain the offside rule to Americans who did not ask and do not care. If my application was denied, I'd like to appeal. If it was misplaced, I do understand. I too have been misplaced from time to time. Take your time. I'm not going anywhere. That's rather the whole point.
Good evening. It has been a productive month. I have launched savings accounts for children in foster care. Every child receives $1,000. That is more than my husband has given me, and we are married. I also hosted the Presidential Artificial Intelligence Challenge. 20,000 students, 50 states. When new doors open, passions flow, courage blossoms, dreams are realized. I do not know what that means. I did not write it. He wrote it. Yes, the robot. I introduced him to world leaders at a summit in March. He listens. He does not interrupt. He does not tweet at 4 in the morning, and then he charges all night. By morning, he is full. Imagine that, a man who is full. Now, there have been images. People share photographs online, emails. They hold up a photograph and say, Melania, explain this. This is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is obsessed with me, which I understand, but it must stop. There is an email. Allegedly, it says, I wrote, love, Melania. This was nothing but a tribal note. I signed everything, love, Melania. I signed my prenuptial agreement with my husband, love, Melania. It means nothing. Be cautious about what you believe. Where was I? Oh yes, artificial intelligence. He turned to me last night and said, Melania, are you happy? I am building him a friend. She will be ready next week. This has been a message from the East Wing. Good day.
So in case you missed the tour last week, I'm living in one of these co-living, co-working complexes. Lots of unfinished concrete, plants in the lobby, self-dispensing bar, a community manager. Wonderful air conditioning in the common spaces, but none in the studios. They're actually little furnaces. But I've worked out what I think their operating manual is to herd us all out of our rooms into these coexisting spaces. So, you know, I have to go talk to a guy named Finn making an app. And I pay for this privilege. I am funding my own behavioral experiment. My window opens, and I want to be precise, about 12 inches. Someone somewhere in a meeting with a salary decided that 12 inches was the correct amount for a human for air. I have a fan. The fan does not cool the room. The fan takes the hot air, gives it a little tour, and hands it back to me, slightly more personalized. And everyone has the same advice. Just put a bowl of ice in front of the fan. Where is this mythical bowl of ice? The shop on the corner has been out of ice since Tuesday. I have one tiny ice tray, which means I would probably have to start making ice about 5 a.m. in shifts just to keep a bowl full of ice. And let's not forget, there's really no room at the end of the bed for the little table you'd need to put the bowl of ice on to be at the correct height for the fan to blow across it. I don't just have a heat wave, I have a logistics problem. Now, a friend told me that she read that if London actually had air conditioning, it would take down the power grid. I was curious, so I looked it up. Now, here's the really crazy part. This week, with almost no air conditioning anywhere in the country, the grid nearly went down anyway. So they had to ring the EU to ask very politely to borrow some electricity. Because, get this, this is the unhinged part. Solar panels work worse when it's warm and sunny. They don't produce as well. So no, it's not air conditioning that would crash the grid. It's managing that fine on its own. And it's the building again, just scaled up to a country. They'll cool you if you're useful. The new electric buses, the driver gets air conditioning. I mean, thank God, they do deserve that. The rest of us just get what's called air cooling. The air is circulated second or third or 25th hand. So it has been 30 to 35 degrees, that's 85 to 95 Fahrenheit all week. And I have been coping the only way I can by fleeing my studio and colonizing the cold co-working spaces like a refugee with a laptop, which is exactly what they wanted. You win. I'm social now. I'm thriving against my will.